G'day legends, you have either clicked on this video for one of three things. You're either here to complete Master of Ultra, to get your tracksuit killing Killa 100 times. You're either here for the one kill, just to complete Kappa, or you're here because you've got a Killa killing fetish and you want to see this bloke as much as possible. This video is for you. We're going to be covering every single thing from the best guns, the best ammo, how stims work, how to fight Killa, where to run from what spawns, how to maintain money, 5 routes where to run. I'll be showing you how his voice lines sound, tips on how to fight him, nade lineups for how to hear his voice lines, and what throwables work to make Killa voice line. I'll be covering everything and more. By the way, if there's something you already know, just check the description and skip through the video. Everything's timestamped. I just want to say as well, if you have any extra questions or you want to get some G-ups or some advice, just come through my live. I am live every single day on Twitch, so come through and say g'day. I'd love to see you guys there because I've just finished this myself. I completed it in about 20 days and about 680 raids on 35% spawn. And I killed him, I think, 100 times and died 4 times to him. So I had a pretty good run. I definitely have something to show to you guys. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Also, my 100 Killa kill montage will be out this week as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that on the channel if you want to see his common spawns that I just got him in the past couple weeks. So thanks for clicking on the video. Enough of me yapping. We're going to get straight into the juice now. Let's get it, boys. I'm just going to talk about the presets to be using, guys, when running Killa farming. I always say, run cheap kits, don't cash out on them. Means you'll be getting a lot of money back in insurance. Over the time I Killa farmed, I actually gained in money I didn't lose because of insurance frauding. So I'd recommend you guys doing this if you're struggling for money. GSSH headset, bank robber rig, or the CSA rig, 6B13 armor or something of the sorts. This repairs very, very well and no one picks it up once it's damaged a little bit because it's very heavy. Takes up a lot of room. For the guns, I'd recommend 2 guns specifically, either Ash 12 or the SVD. The reason I say this is because you can buy the ammo from traders. You do not need to craft it. Ammo like SP6 or M61 are both very good, but you have to craft it or source it elsewhere, which is hard to maintain this ammo. I would recommend getting ref maxed out before starting Killa farming because you can get PS12B, M61 and SP6 on refresh from ref. So it's a really easy way to get good ammo while doing this and getting the money from arena to spend it on like the GP coins to buy the ammo. Makes this a whole lot easier. The guns, Ash 12 and SVD, just a very basic build. Only thing you would add is an Alcan to the SVD. The Ash 12, all I would add is a Alcan optic and a tactical laser. Don't bother wasting money on the suppressor or anything like that. Run it cheap as possible. The ammo, I would run 1 magazine in the gun, 1 magazine spare. Same for the SVD, run 2 mags. And I would run 2 stacks of ammo. Or 1 stack of PS for the SVD. For your Gamma or Kappa, I'm just acting like it's a Gamma, I would recommend this is what you should bring. 2 stacks ammo, CMS, a Grizzly, and injectors. Don't need to bring meds, it's going to waste money along the way, and Grizzly does everything you need. PKs, just use stims as PKs. If you have a Kappa, bring a Golden Star or Vaseline. You will get Vaselines from every Killa kill, so you'll have plenty of meds from that. As well as smokes, you want to bring 7 smokes into the raid. I personally recommend it anyway. Feel free to use, I'll show you the nades that I use most commonly, was the M18 smoke nade. Use the this flashny here, this smoke here. They're the 3 that I use the most. They're the cheapest probably and the most easily sought after. And I would recommend them buying every single refresh. I would recommend you guys are buying another stack of PS12B, PS, and smokes every single refresh, and flashes. I would interchange between flashes and smokes, and this is the kit you should be using. Other guns like the MDR or M61 is still very good, SP6 is very good, CBJ MCX is pretty good. There are other guns you could use, but I say this is the most profitable way to do it. And remember, Killa has a level 6 front shield, so he will tank PS12B and PS if you shoot him directly in the face shield. Make sure you're shooting top head or side of the head for the 1 tap to the head. I would also say with Ash 12, don't try and 1 tap him with his front on, just mag dump him. The best advice I can give. One thing I'll say as well is I was running the holographic on the Ash 12 as well as the Alcan. I ran it interchangeably. I ran the holo on top of the carry handle. People came in and knocked it, but one of the boys who's done this tracksuit 4 times found that the carry handle reduces the camera recoil, because what it does is it reduces the size of the holographic and it pulls it further away from your screen. So there's less vertical and horizontal movement from the optic, making it easier to spray at medium ranges. I found this helped. You should try it out, see what you think. If you don't like it, just don't run the carry handle, that's fine. Just a few things about fighting Killa. He has a 40-second voice line cooldown timer. I had one of the boys who's gotten this tracksuit 4 times go into an offline raid and check this, and he said that all throwables make Killa voice line. The problem is his distance of voice line is very short, it's like 50 meters or less. so it's very hard to hear him as well. His voice is very soft. They've reduced the volume of Killa's voice lines, so it's hard to hear him often. That's why I always recommend you all checking the spots that I've shown you where he's commonly spawned. I will be releasing a 100 kill montage very soon, so keep an eye out for that, and that is as of this patch, so all of the spawns that I've just gotten as of like the last 2 weeks, so make sure you guys look out for that, so it gives you a bit of an idea of where to look for him. Otherwise, always hold right handles, right hand shoulder on Killa always. Do not re-swing a pre-fire if he's just shooting, just wait for him to run at you. I would recommend swinging him when he's in a sprint. Easy, tight way to shoot him. When he crouches, don't swing him again. And I would also hold an angle on a right-hand corner, wait for him to walk into frame. It's much easier to kill him then because he doesn't instantly aimbot. If he's standing still, he'll instantly aimbot you if you swing a corner. And also, don't overswing anything. Like, just take your time with Killa. And this whole thing is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So if you're getting killed by cheaters or getting unfortunate with spawns, remember, if you die early, tell yourself fast extract. Everyone on the stream who watched me do this know we did this all the time. If I got killed by a 32-hour account, I would say fast extract because the cheater would kill the killer anyway. So it's better I get out of that raid into the next one. If you're ever needing to G up or any advice, come through my stream. I'm live every single day. I did this literally just I'd spent, I think, 20 days doing this. Took me 680 raids. Running exactly this, I got about 80+% of my kills with the Ash 12. I love this gun for close range, not for PvP. And when looting Killa, just dump all of your gear, your headset, your arm, and your rig, and pick up his stuff. He has a very small chance of finding keycards. In the 100 kills I got 2 Access Labs cards from him. So if it comes to the pinch and you're getting PMCs coming up, just leave the pockets. Often I'll leave them because it's better you getting out and getting a reset than dying to a player. But you also, if you die to a player, you just tell yourself fast extract means you can get it back straight into the next raid. Now, talking about the servers really quick, there's a lot of speculation on how Killa works across servers. I personally mostly run one server, and I'd find him every like hour to hour and a half cycle on that one server. That would mean that each hour I'd roughly be getting at least 1 to 2 kills on a good day. I have had days where I went 11 hours and got him 3 times. Like, some days you'll have good days, some days you'll have bad days. Don't be disheartened. I say if you find Killa in a raid, he often will sit on a server for a period of time. So if I'm running only OCE and I've killed him once, I want to either get out of the raid or kill myself or disconnect and run that same route straight away back so that I can get him while he's on the server. And if you do find him, I would recommend popping a Trimadol and SJ6 every time you've seen him, every raid after, until you stop. Once you get a dry raid and you don't see him anywhere, I would leave the stimming. He's probably on another server. Now, if you want, you feel free to server swap. Once you've found him and there's nothing there, you can try another server, but I would say within half an hour or 2 raids, I would come back to that original server and run that again. Because when swapping servers, can play with your mental, because let's say you swap servers and you've just missed him on the last server, and then you've switched servers again and you've just missed him on that server, and then you're going to maybe have a cycle of 4 hours of just constantly switching servers, and you're leaving the server just as he begins to spawn, you will have a very bad time mentally. So I would say if you're just starting out, run one server, see how that goes for you. If you're getting advanced and you're understanding how he spawns and you're wanting to experiment and you kill him a few times and there's nothing, then swap servers, try something else. But I found I mostly run one server. I also got stream sniped a fair bit, so it was hard for me to... I had to do a few different things, but I mostly ran one server. That's what I would recommend. Don't get too in your head about it. Run one time zone or run day and night. I mostly just ran day raids. The reason for that is Killa aggroes easily on day raids, so even if I didn't see him, I would still get shot at him from the distance or hear his voice line, him aggro me, which cost me a lot of kills that I otherwise would not have got if I was playing nighttime, where I wouldn't have seen him or heard him. So I personally prefer day raids, but nighttime's also more quiet often as well. I would also recommend running a dead server because Killa is not based on player count. He will spawn on a dead server regardless of player count. There were times where I was playing at early hours of the morning and the server was dead and Killa would still spawn like 3 raids in a row. I got him back to back multiple times. So I would recommend playing dead servers even if you're on high ping, and don't be disheartened by this. It's a challenging task. I did it on a 35% spawn chance. I killed him 100 times, died I think 4 times to him. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'm going to quickly talk to you guys about stims, like endurance stims and when to use them. So these are the 3 stims here I'd recommend you guys stocking up on. Now, one thing I'm going to say is if Killa's spawn is below 50%, I would only stim if 1, you hear his RPK in the raid, or 2, you've just killed him in the previous raid and you want to find him immediately after on the same server. Okay, the only time that you should be stimming off spawn every single raid if it is a 50% or 100% spawn rate. If it's 100% and 50%, you're going to have every other player going for killer as well. And if you're not stimming, you're going to be at a massive disadvantage, and you're probably going to be beaten to killer every single time. So if you're running stims on a 35% chance or lower, you're going to burn through money so fast, unless you've made of hundreds of thousands. Like if you're at over 100 mil, sure, you can do that. But if you're below 100 mil and starting this, I would be careful stimming every single raid if it's a low spawn chance, because you're going to find you're going to run like 17 raids in a row and not get a single killer kill. And that's like almost 2 mil down the drain off the rip. So I'd be careful with how much you stim. Be selective when to stim. And if it's a 100% event, I would. Another thing, if you're anticipating a 100% event, which we're going to be seeing soon at the time of me uploading this video, we've had Rashala on customs 100%, we're having Gluhar on 100%. Eventually we'll see killer spawning. And when a killer event occurs, the cost of endurance stims will skyrocket, 200k plus a pop. So I would recommend stocking up at least 3 or 4 med crates full of endurance stims before a 100% event occurs, so you're not having to pay double the price when the event occurs. And also stock up on ammunition when you're leading up to doing the killer farming as well, like PS12B. You don't get a lot on the refresh, so make sure you're buying it before you start the grind yourself. Another thing I'm just going to mention is you want to be using an SJ6 if you hear him in the raid. If you've just found him in the raid and you want to like run off spawn fast, I'd combine either an SJ6 and a Trimadol, or an SJ6 and a 3 BTG. If you combined, it's SJ and one of these two stims together. It's a crazy combination. You will have pretty much infinite sprint. If you're hearing him in raid and he's fairly close, just pop an SJ. Be careful with Trimadol because it will burn your hunger, your water, and your energy, so be careful of that as well. 50% to 100% event occurs. You'll be having a lot more players on the map because this is when everyone wants to farm tracksuit. Just be aware, you're going to burn through a lot of kits. You're going to die a lot as well. You will run into a lot of cheaters, so it will become very toxic when it is 100% on interchange. So just be aware of that before getting too involved in it. I would definitely recommend stocking up on gear and ammo and money before 100% event occurs. Alright boys, I'm just going to quickly go over the spawns and where you should be running when you spawn in when killer farming. So let's start up at Idea. Anywhere in the red, you should be running into Idea. The one thing I'll note is the half circle you run underneath and then wrap around to the main stairs. If you're spawning in this area, just run through the straight main entrance. Be careful of running into other players if you're in populated servers in this area. Main, if you're spawning near the broken fence or along the highway here in the middle, you should run straight through the Ultra Mall middle entrance. If you're spawning down the bottom of the map near the transit along the highway here, or anywhere in the roundabout or back area behind the car park, you should run straight through main door of Ollie. If you're spawning in this small trailer yard here between Amacom and the back corner of the highway, I would recommend running underneath and going through to the Ollie stairs that lead up to the computer rooms, and then from there throwing a smoke and then running underneath through to the hole in the floor below generic and running through the middle of the map there and hitting a smoke next to Brutal there and then going to Goshan. Alright, if you spawn up the top near the loading docks, run straight in the back of Ollie. If you're spawning on the floor around the back of Amacom here in this black circle, I would recommend running up the ramp up towards Goshan and then in through the double doors heading into Goshan. If you spawn power, I'd recommend you go up the ramp and head into Goshan through the double doors, jump over the pallets and then throw a nade in Goshan. The reason I say that is you'll be beaten by players in Idea. Same for if you spawn here, you'll be beaten by the players spawning in front of Ollie. If you're spawning hole in the fence or in this little trailer yard here, I would recommend going up through secret, as I've shown in one of the examples in the video. Another thing I want to just quickly talk about is reading the map while killer hunting. Now, when you're playing the game, you might normally just listen to audio close by, but when you're killer farming, you have to be very aware of other players in the map. This includes other killer farmers and other gunfights and other gunshots. So what I mean by this is, if you're running into Goshan, right, and you've smoked Goshan, you've smoked Brutal, and you've smoked Sushi, you now need to decide, do I go Ollie or do I go to Idea? They're on opposite ends of the map. Now, if you've heard gunshots or a flashbang in Ollie, you're not going to be heading that way. You're going to be going to Idea instead. What I'm getting at is while you're farming, try and keep note of the activity in the map, which will allow you to optimize your routes. You're not double wrapping over routes that another farmer has already run, or you're running into other players. You want to avoid players and avoid doubling up laps that other farmers are doing. Hopefully this is another tip, as well as don't forget your voice line. Hitting F1 also causes killer to voice line back to you. So if you're in an area that you have not naded and you want to just double check it, spam F1 and you may hear him respond to you. It has happened to me often where I do voice line and I've heard him respond. So just keep that in mind when running around the map. Another thing I want to mention, if you run into another Killa Farmer, dump your kit for their kit, as if you die later that raid, there's still a guarantee that you have a kit coming back to you in your stash. At this time you farm, you'll probably find other players doing the same thing. So make sure you're taking note of where you're hearing people flash and smoke. If you're seeing green smokes in mid, there's no point you doubling up and throwing another smoke in mid, so run to the next best location. Let's say you've spawned GOSHAN and you've gone into GOSHAN, okay? You've thrown a smoke GOSHAN. You've already heard a flash go off in Ollie. You've already heard a flash go off in Brutal. And you're like, okay, what do I do here? You can either do two things. You can just do a reset and just run back. It might just save you the time. Or you go straight to idea and try and beat into idea. That is what you have to do when playing the map. Listen to where the other smokes and flashes are and make the best call in the situation you're in. You're not always going to run the full route. You're not always going to hit every single smoke, but just try and be as efficient as possible. When you're sitting down to play this, make sure you're trying to get as many raids as possible in the time that you're playing, not as many kills as you can, because some days you get more kills than others. And if you're looking at the kills, you will drive yourself insane. So focus on getting as many raids in as possible. Oh, Tim.
That's him.
Oh. Put a diagram on the screen now indicating which spawns you want to run this route from. This includes any spawn in this back area here, the spawn here, and the spawn over there. I would recommend coming through idea. As you come through the front door, Killa can, as you're running up, he can see through the top windows if he's standing at the top of this railing here, and he will aggro you and start to run down the stairs. I actually died to him once when he came down the stairs here as I was running through this door, and I got caught in the open, so be careful of that. What you want to do is come to the top of these stairs here. I personally, as I did this more and more, I got more aggressive because sometimes you'll miss his voice lines because he's so quiet. So if you're playing it safe, you sit your head just before you see anything on the left. I was playing pretty aggro and I would just face check it first, come up here, and then throw one. And listen out if I hear him. This will cover any area here. He's often up there, down here, in this corner over here, by this area here, anywhere up the backside, along the cash registers just here. He can stand right there. I've had him often stand right here as I'm running up, so you'll be careful of that. And you may not hear his voice line for there, so as you're running up, be very careful. He can also spawn here, right here, anywhere like here, over there. Next smoke, you want to be coming up over here, and you'll be lobbing a smoke into the back of idea like this. And you can hear him, hear that little voice line, oh bagayo, bagayo. So he'll be just on my left. Now, tips, you always want to hold him on the right hand shoulder. Alright, he's dead. We're going to just run the route as normal. Another really good one is a nade spot from right here. You can throw a nade over the top here into idea as well. I'm just going to quickly show you a few more spots where I've seen him as well. He can be about here. Keep running up. I've seen him about here as well. Just standing like right here in this back area here. Going to do the thorough quick showing you where he can be. He can be here or anywhere in this area here. So you've just got to be really careful and listen out when you're hearing him. But that's a common voice line. Bagayo, or the bleat. You'll hear those two probably the most out of all of his voice lines. Another little spot here, be careful of his players sitting here as you're running up if they hear your flash, so just be careful of that. I'm just going to push through the rest of the route now. So yeah, he can be here. I have run around the corner here and he stood right here, so be very careful as you're coming around. Check these spawns right here. I'm going to keep moving now. He also can be in the playground area as well, so you just got to be careful. He can be at the top of these stairs here. Keep coming up here. He can wander. I didn't see him spawn there, but I have been told he can, so I would always be careful at top trend. Gonna keep coming up here. I believe he can spawn in this area here. Right here. Keep coming up. I would run this route that I'm showing you right now. He can spawn in this area here, so just be careful. Make sure you're face checking these as you're running past. He can also spawn here. He's also spawned in the back here behind these boxes, so be very careful as you're coming out here. Next smoke is right here. Crouch here. You want to try and listen. So he can be in this anywhere in this open area here. Be very careful for it. Inside Tarducks. Keep coming over here. He can be inside sushi. I've killed him standing there. He also often stands inside sushi right here as well. I've had him here. I've ran past and he's like lit me up. Another spot he can be is in this back area here. Also, if you see this back door shut, I would always recommend face checking this if this door here is shut, because I have had Killa stand right here before when the door was shut like this. I'm gonna keep showing you the spots, keep going. And another great thing to do while running around is voice lining. Just spam your voice lines and he will respond to you. Another common spot I've seen Killa is standing like right here as I've come up these middle eskies. He can also be right here as well. I've seen him here. I've seen him here as well. Little tactical prone. We're going to keep coming down here. So as you've hit here, you're going to run through in a face check back sushi. You're going to come back down here. I'm going to run down here now. I would make sure you PK'd up before running down this area here, to be honest. So once you PK'd up, what you want to do is come down this escalator here. I always run on the right side. You'll often see Killa in this open area here. If it's kind of a lucky dip, to be honest. I've killed him multiple times. I haven't really had him stand right here. Normally he's in this corner here or like here. So I've had enough time to run down before he starts shooting to get behind the sandbags in the wall. And then I'll hold a right hand on him and then he'll peek me and I'll spray him like that. But he can be anywhere inside Brutal here. His most common spot is like here, here, and like in this back corner here. He will wander out as well. I have had him stand right here and I went to run up here like this. I pulled a nade out like this and he's literally just walked out of cover right here. So be very careful of that. Gonna take care of this scab real quick. Next smoke you want to be throwing. Alright. I'm just gonna have a scab rule in our day, chat. Alright, next smoke you want to do is from this spot right here. So you want to try and pull the nade out here and you're going to throw it like this. And you'll again hear a blout or something like that. This is an offline raid by the way, and I've put it as online, so the scabs will be acting like online plus. Killa will have also acted online. The next one you're going to come up here is keep running. Face check to your right, be careful. Now Killa can be standing here, here. He can be underneath the truck there. He can be standing right here as well. Another thing, he can be standing along this wall here, so be careful. He can be standing there. He also can stand in this head glitch here, so be very careful he doesn't beam you off the head glitch here as you're running up. Be very careful of this. If you do hear a voice on, I would crouch and look down. Another one I've seen him is right here. He often stands by this truck in the back corner over there. Back corner there. Back corner here. And over there. And he can be anywhere amongst that all. Now, this is the smoke spot I'm going to show you quickly. So as you've come up here, you can either do a safe smoke. If you want to just do a quick one, you can throw it from here. Just like this. My most common smoke I threw was deep, which would come up straight to the sandbags here, and I would lob this deep. Okay, the next spot we're going to go to now will be straight. Either you can go downstairs here, or we can just go straight through the side door. For this example, I'm just going to show you side door, as most people will be confused from underground. I will show you guys an underground route as well later, if you're interested in that too. One thing to be careful of as you're coming out of here, Killa can be standing right here, and I have killed him here before, so I would try and check this if you can, maybe with a scope if you have one. If not, just gotta be very careful. First thing I would do, obviously, just try and circle peek this, and then what you want to do is come out to the right here. So you've at least got a firm wall here to use if he pushes you, if he aggroes you. Boggy right now, but he can be inside Techco, right here. He can be right by these bags behind this wall, anywhere here. Next smoke you're going to throw, I often will face check here. I'll come up here, and I'm just going to throw one like this. No audio. The next one you're going to come up here. He can be anywhere in this area as well. He's often near the forklift. I've killed him right here as well. Right behind this cash register here. I've also killed him. He's always over here. See him here. And see him at the back of Ollie over here. The next smoke you're going to throw is you're going to come deep here. And you're going to lob one like right here, just through the back. I would still recommend just doing a quick face check if you can. Because he can be in the back area here as well. A big problem with his voice lines is they're much quieter now. And what you're going to do is just reset after that. So that's all your smoke spots for this route. As I said, you've just got to be careful. He can be in the back area here as well. A lot of these smokes give you a general idea, but I would still recommend face checking all of the spots I've like mostly shot today. The reason I say that is because there's times where he may be on a cooldown from another scab or a PMC that he takes about 40 seconds to recover from. So he won't voice line for another 40 seconds. So you may miss him if you're throwing a smoke after his voice line. If that makes sense. Alright. And essentially you just want to go at no backpack as well. This is the most common extract here, which is down this area here. Now, instead of just normally vaulting over this, I would recommend you coming up and sprinting and jumping like this. This gives you a harder chance of being shot, because then you can use this as cover if someone's behind you like this, because people often camp and watch you just drop down and shoot your legs out as you're walking along. But if you sprint jump over, it's much harder to be hit. The common spot as well will be in this spot right here. They can sit up this area here or behind the barrels there. Be careful they don't shoot you in the back. And of course, this is no backpack extract, so you don't want to be taking a backpack here. I know a lot of veteran players already know this, but another one I want to show you guys quickly will be over this side too, but I'll show you that after this raid, alright? I'm going to now show you the ollie route, so coming through the back of ollie. Now watch your head on this shelf, because you can't run under it. First smoke you're going to pull will be by the shelving right here. Look at all of them. They're loving it. All the scabs are up. We're going to push over to the next spot. That'll cover in that tight over there. Make sure you keep face checking still. So I believe Killa is over there this time. I think you've seen him crouch. The next smoke you want to be doing will be roughly in this back corner like this. You won't hear anything in this area here, but obviously the next step is running through here. So this whole area I would leave to face checking, because often there he is. There's the chooch. He's running. But anyway, as you saw, you want to check the back areas of Ollie with those smokes, and he can commonly be here, anywhere in this area here, by the forklifts there. Can be in this front section here, along the cash registers, right behind this shelving here on the floor. Alright, so next spot we're going to come up is you want to face check all of this here. As you've seen, he was here. He was actually about there, but we're going to keep moving up. He can also be in here as well, so you got to be careful of that. So the next spot you want to come up through here is careful, because Killa can spawn in this area here. Be very careful of this spot here as you're running through. He can aggro you instantly from this spot. He can be here, can be here, can be front and brutal about here. You're gonna next smoke you're gonna do will just be here. As you can hear him. So you would have heard him either say voice line from anywhere here. He often stands right here, there, anywhere in the back section of brutal. I've killed him probably the most times in this area. Careful of around these areas here, because he can be in this area and along the back walls there. The next spot after throwing that smoke, you're going to come through here. You're going to go GOSHAN again. Same thing. I'd recommend coming the trailer side every time instead of tents, because tents are soft walls and you can get shot through them. Again, be careful of the headshot here. Same spots all through this area here. There, there. All the way over the back section there, you're going to come here, throw another smoke. No luck. Now what I normally do is I double back through mid. The reason I do this is because if, let's say, he voice lined upstairs and I didn't hear it, it allows 40 seconds for his voice line to cool down. Now, this can be very risky. If you hear gunshots or gunfire on the front, I would leave this and go straight to idea. It's all about reading the map when doing killer farming, because you've got to listen to other players in the map and hear where they are and what they would have aggroed if they would have aggroed killer. As you come up here, I would be very careful of this spot, obviously straight in front of you, because you can spawn here, and to your left. Once you face check that, pull a smoke out, come to the top. And then you want to listen. Obviously, any of these spots here can spawn here, there. What you want to do now is you want to keep coming here. I would often say face check Sushi, like go down the back there like in the previous route and check the back door. He can spawn obviously the back corner here, in here. Keep moving now. Be careful of Killa standing in the middle of the open here. Careful of Killa standing anywhere in this area here. You want to face check it and make sure you're getting close to cover in case he is. He's often standing right there too, so careful he doesn't just beam you when you're not looking. He can be over here too. Keep moving up. He can be here, here, right here, there, there. Alright, next smoke. Coming up from this side, I normally throw it from here. No luck. I think that was a little bit high. I would throw that smoke a little bit low so it goes a bit further. Coming up here. You can also throw the smoke from here and just lob it straight over the top like this. Next smoke will be down the back here. I often come along here. You'll be very careful if you kill it. You want to face check this as well first. Make sure you're ADSing, making sure killer's not sitting here or any of these immediate spots when coming up. Your main source of cover will be this pillar if you do end up getting in a gunfight with him. I would not trust these. These are soft, by the way. Do not trust these pellets. What you want to do is come to this spot here, and I normally just crouch here and lob one straight through here. Because his most common spawns are in this whole area here, so you want to make sure you're getting a thorough, you know, smoke straight in the middle of it. Now, he can be here, obviously top there, bottom there, in the back corner as well. Often, I've killed him in the very back corner over here, down the back line. Now, if he's not here, we're going to be extracting now. I'll just show you the no bag extract I run as well. I did die once with a smoke in my hand, so you have to be careful. I would say check the area before pulling the smoke out, because killer can just be standing there and not making audio until it's too late. Now this is the jump spot I'm going to show you guys. I've used this a lot, and I have missed this jump a lot, and you will too. But because it all depend on like your weight and how much gear you've got on you, things like that. If you have like killer's kit, you're very heavy, whereas if you're light, you won't. But essentially you want to jump into the barbed wire here like this. You want to come along here, and you're going to like pretty much black one of your legs out. Normally is how it works. And what you want to do, come along here, and what you want to do is come along. If your legs are at full HP, you should be fine. You want to drop down here like this. Come along here. Now, before running this, I would say just PK up before you do it, just in case anything happens. And then now you're out. Another one, you can literally just jump straight off the edge onto the floor. You will black your legs and take a fair bit of HP away, but you will survive the jump if you're struggling to getting over. And that's the other way I get out of no bag from that spot too. I'm now going to go from GOSHAN spawns. So if you spawn anywhere, let's say Emacom area, like close up in this area here, or I would recommend going up the ramp and going to Emacom. The reason I say this is anyone spawning front Oli will beat you into Oli, so you're better off hitting GOSHAN first. If you spawn no bag or this spot, this is the route I recommend, going from up secret. And if you spawn power as well, I'd recommend you coming up the ramp and going into GOSHAN as well, because you will be beat by the players spawning front of idea. You're better off going towards GOSHAN first. Alright, the first smoke you want to throw from this spawn will be just through this door here. Now, you've got to be very careful, because killer can be right here. He can stand right here as well, and at this truck. So as long as you face check them, come in here in the corner, you're going to lob the nade straight down the middle. No audio. You're going to keep coming up. Face checking, of course, he can be in that corner there too, so just be careful of that. Be careful, he can be over there too. If you've missed his voice line, he's a bit quiet. I would recommend, once you've just checked here quickly, I would recommend going through the trailers in case he hasn't voice line or you missed it. He can be standing there anywhere in this area here as well. But anyway, you're going to come straight through here, and you're going to crouch behind this pillar here, and you're going to lob this nade. You don't want to throw it too far deep, because you may activate any voice lines there, so you're just going to throw it like this. Grenade to him, no audio. You're going to face check left, keep coming up. Face check right, and you want to start running up the escalators now. Commonly met by scabs at the top of the escalators, so you just got to be very careful. So you got to check face check here, face check there, face check there. Now I'm just getting disrespected by more scabs. Can't catch a break out here, boys. I have put it on as online, so it would be as most, you know, realistic for voice lines and scab activity. But anyway, you're going to come up here. There'll be probably killer spawning here, there, in there, or over there. The most common spawns I've seen him. I did also see him spawn right here, or like right here, so just be careful of that too. I'm going to throw a smoke from top here. You're going to throw it straight down the middle. No audio. I would still recommend you guys check Sushi. And he can spawn anywhere in the front section here. Now, this is the point I'm going to make very clear. You want to face check that as well. Now, what I want to do is say to you guys, once you get to this top part, when you're running through the map, you want to be listening left and right and hearing if anyone's made audio in ID or Oli. Whichever side has made no audio, that's the side you want to run. For this example, I'm just going to show idea. But in the same light, you would just go down tech light stairs, or you would go down the back corner in the secret area there too. You want to come down Tarkov here, again, killer can be here. And often with this route, if you spawn GOSHAN, I will only hit either idea. Oh, okay, so that is killer. As you can see, he's right there. And he fucking is giving me a little rinsing. But anyway, so that's another spawn he can be. I actually haven't seen him there before. I do have it as online, so you just got to be careful of that. I'm spawning there. He can be here before I've seen him here. So that's another really good note. Since it's an offline, but something to note as well, boys. Want to keep moving. And every time you fight Killa, always hold a right-hand shoulder on him. Don't hold left-hand shoulders, because what happens is with a left-hand shoulder, he will see the left side of your body before you see him, and before your muzzle can be facing at him. As if anyone understands the left and right shoulder peeking, you get what I mean. But always hold a hand on him. I've only killed him like maybe 3 times left-hand shoulder, but it was when I was holding an angle like this. If you're holding an angle like this, then it's better. But if you're holding this, he will see the left side of your body before your barrel will, so you've got to be very careful of that. Coming up here, and face check this. The audio, you want to throw it deep, just straight through the middle of the back area, because you don't want to be face checking all that. You want to make sure you hit it clean. Again, face check all this spot here. It can be seen right there, over here. Other cash registers, so just be really careful of these common spots. Yeah, especially is behind this one here. Now, you want to be throwing one from this spot just here. No audio. You can be behind this pellet on the other side of it too, so listen out for that. Now, let's just say that you're in a dead raid. I would still recommend going to Ollie still. If you want to go to Ollie, this is probably the fastest way to get there. If you want the safest route, I would recommend going down the escalators here, going down and going underneath and through. I'm just going to show you the fastest one if you're in a dead raid, going straight through GOSHAN. The reason we're going to double check Ollie here, chat, is because if you are in a dead raid, and you don't know this off spawn, so I still recommend going GOSHAN. But even it's another, what, 2 minutes of your time. But if he does spawn here and he is tucked away in a shelf, no player would have aggroed him. So it's worth sometimes coming back and double checking if you haven't heard any gunfire in Ollie yet. Or like very small amounts. Because I've often come back and gotten quite a few of my kills from Killa being over here and no one's aggroed him. Again, in there, here. The backside here, we want to come through, and I normally, with this one, if it's coming late, you generally won't, you just face check this area here. I would just come straight deep if you've only got like one left, and I would throw 2. I would throw one like this, and I'd throw another one like this. Now be careful, because I've had Killa stand right here before, so you want to come here. No luck. Now, he'll obviously be in one of these areas, easier to spot if he is anywhere here. That's why I want to leave the face checking spots for you to do yourself, and any tuck behind cover, you want to have the nade do the work. That's what I always recommend. He can be down here as well, so just be careful he hasn't wandered down in this area as well. And then you just want to go straight out to no bag and reset again. But like I said, a big part of deciding whether or not you're going to ID or Ollie is listening to who's in the raid and what audio you've heard. When Killa farming, I'd recommend trying to find dead servers, because running populated servers with a lot of chads running around can be very difficult. Right, next route I'm going to show you is through front Ultra Mall. So if you spawn anywhere in the highway in this area here, if you spawn back corner, you're going to have to go Ollie. But if you're in this area or anywhere close on the left near the break on the highway there, I would recommend going front Ultra Mall. This is the route you want to be running here. Sometimes it's going to be aggro by a scab, so just be careful. I don't often ever see scabs like that, even though I'm running an offline raid, so just be careful of that. Right, Killa can be right here. Hear that as you're coming up here as well. Killa can be seen right here as well, so just be careful, as well as around the back side here. Just be careful, you want to come up, just top of Eskies here, face check quickly. And nothing. You want to just be quick about this route. You may come later to face check Sushi, you're going to run straight down mid here. You're going to face check right. He's inside Brutal. Doesn't look like he's here. Again, I would listen to hear if there's any audio in Ollie, I would go Idea. If there's any audio in Idea, I'd go Ollie. Throwing a smoke through this way here. Seeing his head. Killer's dead. But the next smoke you want to throw will probably be from around here. And you want to throw this probably over the back there like that. And you want to keep coming through here. Be very careful. He can spawn here too. And I recommend jumping on top of this here. And voice lining is a very important thing as well when farming him. Throw one more smoke right over the top over here. And then reset. And that's the route. So if you spawn in this trailer area in between the highway and in between Emacom, I would recommend running this route underground. So I'm going to just run you through the route now. It's very low risk as you are running underground, less likely to run into players. Coming up to these escalators here, you will find scavs spawn here on a very high chance, so you expect some scavs to be here when you're running up. Normally 2 or 3. Obviously none as I'm on an offline raid. What you're going to do is come up here, you're going to throw a smoke. As you just heard Killer voice lined. Realistically, he's right here, he's coming up. I don't want to ego him here, so I'm going to come back. And he's going to come down the escalator, okay? Let him come down. Holding a left hand on him. But you see it's tucked to my left shoulder. Alright, instantly had tapped him top head. The only reason I had a left hand there was because it was tucked to my left shoulder and I knew he'd walk into it. The reason I held this is because when you're holding an angle against Killer, you always want to have somewhere to run back behind if he aggroes you. For example, if I've shot a few shots here and I come back behind cover, there's a solid wall protecting me, and I'm able to run back here and then have a second bite at him here, okay? That is the most important thing when fighting Killer. From your first engagement, you always want a second point to be able to get behind cover in case things go wrong. Let's say I just tanked, he tanked from the face shield. We're just going to run this as normal. We're going to keep moving up this way. As this scav has here, as you can see, a scav has been aggroed here. If you shoot a few scavs here and no killers here, but Killer has spawned in a hole in the floor near generic here, you will find Killer will wander down and he will start to walk down here as you're coming around this corner. So just be very careful as you're coming up here. As you see another scav. Another scav has just come up here, but I've often fought Killer right here. He's at the top of the hole. See, look at all the scavs getting aggroed. He'll often be about here as you're coming up in the open. So you've got to be very careful Killer doesn't catch you in the open with your pants down. Now, next spot here, we're going to come up next to Attic. I'm going to throw a nade in the middle. Going to keep moving. Base checking as you're coming over. Keep moving up. And remember, I think the best thing I can say, again, careful this area, do a little voice line. Voice line check when you're coming up here, here if he's like behind the trailer or whatever. Base check this as well because he's often been there. Coming up behind the sandbags. Gonna throw one in the middle. Obviously we've already killed him, but we're gonna run the route as normal. Alright, now coming up to idea, what you want to be careful of is Killer lurking in this area. He could have been aggroed or wandered out in this area, especially top of trend escalators. I have had him run at me from this area before, so just be careful, as well as this area playground. Coming up here, he has been standing here before when I've swung this, so just be careful. He can be right here, can be here, can be there, can be there, can be here. So what we're going to do is throw another smoke here coming up. Audio, going to run up now. Again, you want to be just face checking, just be careful when running up here. Face check this, just check it quickly. Nothing there, no black bulb. No bowling ball running up. These pillars are your best friends too if you do get an engagement. Try and use these pillars as a right-hand cover. You're coming up here. Pull a nade out. No audio, and that's a reset right there. that's a thorough way to clear. The only thing in this route that you may miss will be deep ollie. If you're feeling like you want to do a double extra deep clean, you can check deep ollie if you want. I find he is not normally there. It's very unlikely, but he does spawn there. If you're in a very populated raid, you'll generally get him aggroed by another player anyway, so you're better just running this route. It's fast, efficient, and I've killed Killa a lot of times running this exact route. If you do spawn back, like, in that trailer park area more to the left along highway side, you can still run this route, but it is just likely that you will run into other players, but it's definitely worth a try. If you're fighting him in this area here, you can get Killa to be glitched behind one of these double doors here. So if he's pushing you and he's aggroed, you can shut this double door and he'll pull up right in front of this, and his head will show, but he won't, most of the time he won't shoot you. So allow you to get a clean headshot on him if you want to use these double doors. Is a really good tactic to use. I got shown this by one of my boys, so shout out to Combat Diaper. But yeah, right through this window here, you can like shoot him and empty into him. It works for scabs as well. And if it doesn't work and he's pushed through, you can always just jump back out here and go again in the next one. You know what I mean? There's another double door right here as well. Just do the same thing. Get him back in this double door here. Close this one. And get him in line up here. And if you have like a Ash 12 or like a SVD, you just one tap him. If you guys got through the video, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the support we've been getting recently on the streams and the channel. I really appreciate it. If you guys would drop a like, even subscribe if you learned anything today. The Killa montage will be out very soon as well, to be seeing all of the common spawns that I killed him in, all 100 kills as of the last few weeks. I appreciate you all. Hope you have a blessed day. Don't forget to put it in the comment if you have any other questions or any other things you want to add to the guide. Much love, everybody. Have a blessed one. Cheers, boys.